From rare Bigfoot sightings in the forest to unsettling encounters with ghosts peeking through your doors, and even a strange clip of an aquatic assassin. If you're intrigued by the world of the unexplained, you're in for an extraordinary adventure as we delve into each mysterious capture. Have you ever seen those movies with creepy alien creatures sporting tentacled mouths? Well, a video circulating online captures something similar, but in the real world. Unsettling, right? This clip comes from a beach where a tourist filmed a truly bizarre sight. In the video, we see a seagull casually walking along, but something strange is protruding from its beak. Take a closer look. It appears to have tentacles coming out of its mouth. It's actually its regular beak, but there are also 3 arm-like appendages dangling from it. So is this a Martian seagull? Don't worry, it's not an alien visitor. It's just an ordinary seagull enjoying a rather large starfish dinner. Seagulls are opportunistic eaters and will happily gobble up a variety of foods, including starfish, which are considered marine invertebrates. Now that we know the truth behind the tentacles, it's still a sight that might send shivers down your spine. If I saw that on the beach, I might have been tempted to make a quick retreat myself. Horror movies love creepy dolls to send shivers down your spine, and Annabelle is notorious for doing just that. But what if we told you there's a real story behind the chilling fiction? These are actual photos of paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren with the doll that started it all. Back in 1970, when Lorraine was still a nurse, someone gifted her this seemingly ordinary doll. Take a closer look at the first photo. That's Annabelle next to Lorraine, with warning signs like danger and do not touch surrounding her case. Unlike your average Raggedy Ann, the Warrens believed Annabelle harbored a demonic presence. According to their account, the doll would mysteriously move around their home, and a friend who napped in their presence woke up with unexplained claw marks. All supposedly thanks to Annabelle. That's why she's now kept safe in a special case, to prevent any further spooky activity. The Annabelle movies were inspired by this real-life story, even keeping similar character names. Knowing this backstory and seeing these photos, you might think twice before cuddling up with your own doll at night. A hiker in Alaska was deep in the woods, enjoying the scenery, when he spotted something truly strange in the distance. Luckily, he had his camera rolling. The video he captured shows the hiker filming something rustling in the bushes. He zooms in, trying to focus on the movement. Then, for a brief moment, we see a glimpse of a large creature on the other side. Now, this shadowy figure peeking from behind the bushes might remind you of a gorilla or some other ape. But here's the thing, there are no gorillas or apes native to Alaska. The hiker, understandably spooked, wasn't sure what he just saw. Looking closer, the glimpse seems vaguely human-shaped and covered in thick fur. It's also on the tall side, all features that echo classic Bigfoot descriptions online. Bigfoot sightings are particularly common in Alaska, and this could very well be another encounter caught on camera. So, what do you think? Does this video capture a glimpse of the legendary Bigfoot or something else entirely? A California homeowner's night took a terrifying turn when strange noises woke him up. What he saw next was enough to give you nightmares.
Stop!
This isn't a scene from a horror movie. It's real-life caught on camera. In the homeowner's video, we hear his voice trembling as he pleads with someone outside to leave him alone. The footage shows two hands frantically banging on the glass door, but the darkness makes it impossible to see who's behind them. As the homeowner approaches the door, the banging stops abruptly the moment he turns on the light. He cautiously opens the door, but to his surprise, there's no one there. Shaken and scared, he closes the door and retreats inside. But the nightmare isn't over. When he peeks back through the glass, the hands reappear. The homeowner's dog clearly shares his fear, barking non-stop throughout the ordeal.
Holy hell!
The next morning, the glass door looks perfectly normal, with no sign of the ghostly visitor. This spooky encounter is sure to raise questions. Could it be fake? Maybe. But the homeowner's genuine distress and the frantic barking of the dog are pretty hard to fake. Alien believers, brace yourselves. Debunkers, prepare to be confounded. This next video from Mexico has the internet buzzing with one question. What on earth, or perhaps off it, is that? A mom in Mexico was playing with her kids in the park when she spotted something bizarre hovering overhead. The video captures a strange spinning object in the sky. And it's definitely not a bird. Some viewers are convinced it resembles Oumuamua, the first confirmed interstellar visitor to our solar system. This cigar-shaped rock with a reddish tint zipped through our cosmic neighborhood in 2017. Its Hawaiian name, Oumuamua, translates to a messenger from afar arriving first. Now to others, it might look a bit like the B-2 Spirit, a sleek high-tech bomber used by the US military. But whatever it is, its unusual hovering presence is bound to raise eyebrows, and maybe cause a little panic. So what do you think? Alien spacecraft or something more down to Earth? Let us know in the comments. Living alone? You might want to skip this video, unless you enjoy a good scare. What was that? This unsettling footage comes from a Miami apartment dweller who captured something strange in the dead of night. The video starts with the homeowner panning the camera towards their main door. Their cat's gaze is fixated on the top glass window, like it's spotted something unnerving out there. The owner zooms in on the glass, and that's when things get creepy. The source of the cat's alarm is revealed. A ghostly white face with dark features materializes in the window, peeking directly at the camera. The chilling scene is witnessed by both the cat and the homeowner. While we don't get a full view of the apparition, the glimpse we have is enough to send shivers down your spine. But the most unsettling part, this entity seems to be aware of the camera, yet chooses to peek in anyway. Nature's beauty can take your breath away, but then there are times like this, moments that leave you awestruck and terrified. This incredible, yet terrifying, video captures the formation of a tornado right before your eyes. The footage comes from a gas station, and it shows a storm brewing with dark clouds filling the sky. Look closely though. A strange, swirling vortex starts to take shape within the clouds. Within seconds, this ominous swirl lunges towards the ground. As it touches down, it transforms into a monstrous tornado, its power growing rapidly. This is the raw, destructive force of a tornado forming, caught entirely on camera. So what causes this terrifying phenomenon? It all boils down to air, moving at different speeds and directions at different heights. This creates a spinning motion in the rising air, especially common in supercells, the most powerful type of thunderstorm. But remember, not all spinning air becomes a tornado. The next time you see an unusual swirl in the sky, don't mistake it for a playful dance of nature. It might just be a sign of a tornado about to unleash its fury. Forests, places of untamed beauty where animals roam free. But what happens when a mysterious cabin suddenly appears in the heart of the woods? Let's explore the unsettling case of the Arcata cabin.
It was a cabin, and not the usual unbalanced wobbly shack, but a proper house, constructed for more than just a brief stay. The sturdy shack.
This documentary investigates a bizarre discovery in Arcata's community forest, a cabin that seemingly materialized out of thin air. Park Ranger Mark Audrey stumbled upon the structure during a routine patrol in a remote area. Just days earlier, there was nothing but trees. Now, a weathered cabin stood before him, an unsettling presence in the wilderness. This wasn't your typical ramshackle hut. It was a well-built cabin with a concrete foundation, a small porch, and multiple windows. Its brown exterior blended perfectly with the surroundings, nearly camouflaged until Audrey was practically upon it. Inside, the cabin held an air of mystery. It was surprisingly well organized, stocked with basic necessities like bottled food and supplies. A typewriter sat on a table, and an attic with makeshift sleeping quarters hinted at recent occupancy. Yet, the place was eerily empty. No one claimed ownership, leaving more questions than answers. What was the purpose of this hidden cabin? Was it simply a secluded retreat, or something more sinister? Have you ever been alone in your car, glancing in the mirror, and sworn you saw someone in the back seat? You might dismiss it as a trick of the mind, but this video shows us why that might not always be the case. Yikes! This chilling video, captured by a driver, shows something far more unsettling than a forgotten passenger. The driver was recording himself, seemingly for another purpose, when something truly strange appeared in the back seat. The car interior is dark. The driver focused on something else. But then, a shape emerges from behind the seat. It starts as a barely there outline, but within seconds, it solidifies into a horrifying face, staring directly at the driver. Take a good look at those eyes. Eerie and undeniably evil, they pierce through the darkness, fixated on the driver who remains blissfully unaware. The sheer presence of an unknown entity in the car is enough to send shivers down your spine. But the truly terrifying part, the driver has no clue they're being watched. Forget the zombie apocalypse. Japan is facing a furry foe that's wreaking havoc on its cities. Raccoons
have gone from pets to pests. Parts of Japan, including Tokyo, the more adventurous raccoons are harming livestock.
Yep, you saw that right. A raccoon apocalypse. This news clip shows these masked bandits causing chaos in Tokyo. Once considered cute companions, raccoons have become a major pest in Japan. Cities like Tokyo are overrun. These mischievous mammals are doing what they do best, tearing through garbage cans. But that's not all. Farmers are suffering as raccoons feast on their precious fruit and vegetable crops. Even worse, these furry fiends are endangering salamanders and causing damage to public infrastructure and private homes. In 2022 alone, their antics cost Japan a whopping $3 million. However, enough is enough. Now the Japanese are fighting back with traps and hotlines to capture these pesky bandits. But is trapping them enough? I think the key lies in tackling the root of the problem. Simply controlling the population might not be the solution. Let's see how Japan tackles this unique raccoon war and what lessons we can learn from it. This next clip from Indonesia shows a dramatic showdown between Komodo dragons, and guess what? It's happening right next door to a house. This video takes us to a seemingly ordinary day in Indonesia. But look closer. In the swamp near a house, a fierce battle is raging between a group of Komodo dragons. They're grappling with each other, throwing their weight around in a real show of dominance. 3 giant lizards are locked in combat, one clamped onto another, while the third joins the fray. This epic brawl is unfolding just feet away from a house, and the homeowner's reaction might surprise you. Instead of freaking out, they simply glance at the commotion, and then nothing. The video ends without showing any alarm from the residents. Watching these videos, 2 big questions come to mind. Why are these Komodo dragons hanging out so close to a house? And who in their right mind would choose to live next door to a potential dragon brawl zone? Well, maybe a special kind of dragon enthusiast. Imagine gazing out at the ocean on a night cruise and seeing it glow. That's exactly what happened to the passengers in this next video. Isn't that incredible? This clip, captured by one of the cruise passengers, shows a mysterious blue glow emanating from the dark water. It bobs up and down, almost like someone's shining a flashlight from beneath the surface. Naturally, everyone on board was baffled and a little spooked by the unknown. So what could it be, my guess? Maybe a submarine subtly revealing its presence with a light. But that's just speculation. There are also documented cases of bioluminescent plankton, like Noctiluca, causing a similar glowing effect in coastal waters. Could this be a case of a once-in-a-lifetime tourist capture of a natural phenomenon? One thing's for sure, this is a video these passengers won't soon forget. We all know Sir Isaac Newton and his law of gravity, right? Everything gets pulled towards the earth. But what if I told you there's a plant that seems to defy this very law? This mind-bending video comes from India and features a strange herb called the Garuda herb. It looks like a snake-shaped stick, but wait until you see what it does in water. In the video, a man dips the Garuda herb into a stream. Instead of sinking, the herb starts to move. It swims upstream, swirling and twisting like a living creature. Defying the current, it's as if gravity doesn't apply to this plant. But the strangeness doesn't stop there. The man then puts the herb under running tap water. And guess what? It does the same thing. It moves upwards against the flow. This phenomenon has even baffled Ayurvedic experts, a traditional Indian medical system. They say the Garuda herb always swims against the current. It's truly a botanical mystery. Nature never ceases to amaze us, does it? We've all seen nature's silent assassins, the predators that strike with lightning speed. But what if I told you the smoothest killer in the aquatic world might surprise you? It's just an ordinary fish. Take a look at this pond. We have 2 unsuspecting residents, a goldfish and a mysterious black fish. As the video starts, something unexpected happens. The black fish launches a swift attack, wrapping its body around the goldfish in a constricting coil. For a tense moment, they're locked in this silent struggle. Then, just as abruptly, the black fish releases its hold. But here's the chilling part. The goldfish comes out motionless. Its vibrant colors fade as its lifeless body floats to the surface. The black fish, a master of silent, swift takedowns, has delivered a fatal blow. We don't know exactly how it achieved this, Was it a paralyzing venom or a more sinister method? One thing's for certain. After witnessing this encounter, I wouldn't be eager to jump in that pond. Hitting the brakes on a lonely road at night can be tempting, especially if you spot something unusual. But this next video from Nepal shows why it might be best to keep rolling. This driver's late-night encounter will leave you chilled to the bone. The video unfolds on a desolate road, illuminated only by the car's headlights. The driver pulls over, drawn to something lying motionless in the middle of the road. As they cautiously approach, the object twitches to life. A horrifying creature, vaguely resembling a giant spider with branches for legs, lurches towards the driver. Panicked, they scramble back to their car and slam the door shut. With a terrified glance in the rearview mirror, the driver throws the car in reverse and speeds away, leaving the bizarre monstrosity behind. Zooming in on the creature only deepens the mystery. Its form is unlike anything recognizable, its movements unsettlingly alien. What lurks on the dark roads at night? This video offers a glimpse into the unknown. What do you think it is? From spooky spirits to creatures that crawl out of your darkest dreams, the internet has it all. But this video from India might just be in a category of its own. This unsettling encounter has left viewers baffled and a little terrified. The footage captured in a village in India shows something truly bizarre. The cameraman focuses on a figure peeking out from behind a wall. A woman with a face that resembles a monkey. The woman's features are undeniably unsettling. Her wide eyes stare directly at the camera, and as she opens her mouth, the resemblance to a primate becomes even more striking. The way she moves her tongue adds to the overall creepiness. The video cuts short as the cameraman, understandably spooked, backs away. Whether this is a real encounter with something unknown or an elaborate hoax is up for debate. Some viewers like me suspect a Snapchat filter might be at play. The lack of movement in the eyeballs is a detail that fuels this theory. However, the creators did a fantastic job of making the video appear realistic, adding to the overall mystery. The mystery surrounding the pyramids continues. While some speculate aliens were the masterminds behind these incredible structures, a recent video has fueled the fire, so to speak. The clip, captured by tourists in Egypt, shows a strange, smoky trail weaving across the sky above the pyramids. This footage comes from Egypt and was recorded by tourists who saw a strange trail of smoke in the sky flying over the pyramids. In the video, we can see a mysterious smoke trail traveling through the sky. There is a source at the front, but due to the distance and the smoke, we can't clearly see. Apparently, someone was randomly flying their drone in the forest during winter, and by accident they claim to have captured a really fascinating sight that raises many questions about the existence of Bigfoot. The drone footage appears to show a hairy brown and large creature strolling on two legs, looking very similarly to the well-known description of the Bigfoot. But is it really? The owner claimed to have captured this somewhere rather remote, where people would for sure not walk randomly in a forest, especially not dressed like this. Could it be a clever hoax or a case of misidentification? The video certainly provides food for thought and sparks the imagination of one. It's fascinating to consider the possibility that there may be undiscovered creatures out there waiting to be found. But until there is concrete evidence, the mystery of Bigfoot remains just that, a mystery. What do you think? Is this video proof of Bigfoot's existence, or just another piece in the puzzle? Only time will tell. It seems that the woods will forever have its mysteries. In this footage, another terrifying mystery develops via the lens of a thermal camera in the cryptic depths of the woods. Again, just as in the last clip, the owner claims that this was taken in a remote part of a forest at night, a place and time where you would not expect to see anyone strolling around. The footage shows a massive figure, humanoid yet unearthly, moving in the night with strange elegance. Its size dwarfs that of a mere human. According to its movement, not a normal human would walk in this manner. So, what is it? Do you see how it sways its arms as it runs? I'm grateful for technological advancements that have enabled us to spot this being, but still, its features are strange, and some claimed it to be a monkey wandering in the forest. As far as I know, this was taken somewhere in the United States, and I am pretty sure there are no monkeys wandering around in forests there. Is this just a clever hoax, or does it reveal that there will always be species we do not know of, like the Bigfoot? One cannot help but wonder if the truth is hidden not just in this creature. This guy was out in a snowy location, and he seems to be looking for something. As the recording continues and he consistently scans the area, an unsettling appearance discloses itself. A white creature appears out of nowhere, startling him. We only get a slight sight of it, possibly because the person filming must have dropped their phone after seeing it. But we do get a decent look at it. It seems to have the shape of the head of a goat. It has glowing eyes and does not move as it meets face to face with the recorder of this video. Could this guy be in the presence of an otherworldly creature? Perhaps an alien, or, in a more sinister case, a shape-shifting skinwalker. This next video adds to the mystery of the woods and the Bigfoot. Some guys were hiking in a forest and they started hearing grunts in the forest, so they got ready for an animal, while at the same time still wanting to film it. This is what they caught. This video captures a mysterious creature wandering amidst the trees in the woods, covered in thick black fur. What makes it chilling is the size of this entity. If I would approximate its height, it looks to be 7 to 8 foot tall. Is it a new species, or perhaps something long thought to be extinct? Or, to be more exact, could this be Bigfoot? What do you think? Is it fake? A person in a really well-made Bigfoot costume, or is it authentic? You know what's more chilling than Bigfoots strolling in a forest next to you, a creature stalking you in the woods? In this next video, we see a man walking around the woods as he is recording, but things are off. In a distant tree, right in front of him, we see a creature stalking him behind a tree. The video is a little bit shaky and we cannot fully distinguish its facial features, and only its upper body can be seen, which appears as if to be covered in an oversized hoodie. To me, I think it could be a bear peeping at him, but it would be weird. Personally, I have never seen such a timid bear. Why it isn't chasing or threatening the man? Truth be told, I would prefer Bigfoot stalking me. At least they don't eat you alive like bears do. I don't know what to consider interesting in this video. This guy not panicking, or the creature. Away from land sightings, this freaky clip sent by Ruth Muldong, a TikToker who encounters an uncanny presence in the water. What appears to be a routine swim takes a frightening turn. An unsettling twist occurs as she goes beneath the surface. Pay close attention. An unearthly black pair of legs appears behind her, a weird trespass into her underwater environment. What's even more weird is as she goes back above the water, suddenly, the shadowy legs are nowhere to be found. The clip leaves a frightening aftertaste, raising troubling issues about the line between reality and the unknown. Could this be a restless spirit of someone who lost their life? This video just shows that even a relaxing thing, such as taking a swim in a place you'd consider safe and relaxing, can still turn into a haunting experience. This scary video shows someone recording while walking down in the sewers for reasons I don't know. Sewers are known to be home to lurking animals such as alligators, so it is for sure a place you would not want to find yourself into. As he looks through a dark turning, a pair of glowing eyes seem to pop out of the corner and then back. The creature behind the corner does that a few times, and I have no idea why this guy did not start running right away. We can all agree that the nature of the eyes clearly show that they cannot be of a human. Adding to the mystery, the person recording walks towards the corner only to reveal that there is no one there, and the time he takes could not allow anyone to run all this distance and hide. I really applaud the person recording for his sheer bravery, but condemn them for the risks they put themselves into for no reason at the same time. But the question remains exactly what was hiding behind that corner. The first thought I had was of the rake, as it does seem similar to me a bit. Rakes are cryptids known to have glowing eyes and are prone to stalking humans out in the darkness. Could it be a rake or another mystery? Seems like forests are not the safest places to be even during the day. In this video, someone seems to have noticed a weird bipedal creature lurking in the woods and starts recording. In the video, we see an ape-like creature roaming around the forest as if it was looking for something. Some people claim to have seen the skunk ape in the forests and marshes of the southeastern United States, particularly in Florida. And it is often characterized as an ape-like monster with black hair covering its body, standing 5-7 feet tall. It is sometimes compared to Bigfoot. So, could this be just another sighting of the mysterious skunk ape? Going back to the sewers, this next video will leave you chilled. In this one, some teens were lured by strange noises coming from a nearby sewer tunnel. Out of curiosity, one of them decided to check out what the source of the noise could be. But things don't go as he expects. As he goes deeper into the sewers, the noise becomes louder and closer, and this really seems to startle him. Then suddenly, out of dark, a strange creature comes out screaming eerily.
What the hell?
The boy is scared to the bones, and he turns in the other direction, fleeing to safety. He manages to get back to the clear and safe ground outside the sewers, but perhaps forever scarred by that encounter. What could have been that creature? There is no clear conclusion to its shape. It looks like just a creature with an elongated head and really long legs, with glowing eyes. Its screams seemed animalistic in nature, nowhere close to those of a human. Could it be some sort of animal who made the sewers its hiding spot? Or was that a cryptid waiting for a prey? The video starts with a man explaining that they have been encountering an unwanted creature around their fence, in a nearby forest. He explains that this has happened for quite some time now.
I don't know if you could see past this, but so behind this where I'm pointing right now, there's a forest back there, and it's a pretty big forest. It's a state park.
But just as he is explaining that, in the middle of his monologue, something unexpected happens.
And did you hear that?
In a distance, the supposed creature makes a very shrilling sound, none like we've heard before, and definitely not even close to a familiar animal sound.
That was it. Oh.
Could it be some weird mountain lion or hog sounds that come out as a little bit more creepy? Or could it be a skinwalker? Let us know in the comments. In another video, Bigfoot may have been spotted yet again in Yellowstone National Park, this time in the company of some bison, which are not aware of the strange activities in their presence. The blurry video, which was posted by YouTube user Mary Greeley and later targeted by Bigfoot hunters, claims to show not one, but 4 Bigfoots stumbling through the woods. Well, if we analyze the video closely, despite it being hazy, the Bigfoots can be seen portrayed in a shadowy form. The 4 of them are initially visible, but for an unknown reason, 3 of them vanished behind a tree. From the distance we see them, we can certainly state that they must be huge individuals, something you would not want to meet face to face, especially since it seems to travel in a pack. These things would tear you apart by sheer force. But if there are so many of Bigfoot out there, how come we have not caught one by now? This next video involves a place we would expect to be haunted, a castle. Every castle has its own dark story, and maybe this too, one which lives to this day. This is a drone footage of an English castle, and at first it appears to be a normal recording of a castle, but things get weird the more and closer you look. As seen in the video, a translucent figure seems to be walking in the cabin camera fault, as we clearly see its shape and form, which resembles a human ghost. Castles are known to be a breeding ground for hauntings due to their frequently bloody past, so a sight like this is no wonder. Could this be evidence that we leave together with ghosts in the same space, but we just can't notice? And what could their intentions be? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Prepare to be terrified by this eerie video that defies explanation. A beekeeper was checking on his bees when spotted a perplexing sight. A goat-like creature emerges slowly from dense vegetation. The physique of this animal is peculiar as it has strange curled horns. As he looks closer, the observer is struck by a chilling realization. This is no ordinary animal and is not probably a goat. Every quiver of its head, every slight change of its body contributes to the unsettling mood. This could probably be some kind of prank, or eerily, maybe a creature of the unknown. In this video, a man is recording a bright light in the night sky, but it's not just the light. Around it, in the shape of a triangle, 3 lights seem to turn on and off periodically, as if following a pattern. Even due to the darkness, the lights can be seen in the sky. It seems to be something suspended in the air. Could this maybe be a UFO? It's interesting to note that there have been numerous reports of sightings in recent years. In fact, a new declassified US government report on UFO sightings has revealed hundreds of new cases. The US National Intelligence Office is now aware of 510 reported sightings. While many of these sightings can be attributed to human origins, more than 100 of the encounters remain unexplained. Could this one be yet another one that needs our attention? A video taken by a Mexican woman in an unnamed cemetery in Brazil has gone viral, featuring a terrifying vampire baby doll that appears to follow you with its eyes. The doll, which is dressed in all white and had a bottle of what looks like blood next to it, has racked up hundreds of thousands of views online and has even appeared in Mexican media. People are likening it to the demon doll Chucky from Child's Play, but many feel that this doll is even scarier. Some are saying that the doll must be possessed by the devil, while others believe it to be an advanced-made doll. However, the video is so unnerving that many viewers are left unsure of what to believe. One thing is for sure, this creepy vampire doll has captured the attention of people all over the world. This guy was exploring an abandoned building at night when he has a very scary encounter. As he was approaching one room, he became hesitant for a moment before opening the door. The doors creaked open, revealing a small, cramped space. In the corner, huddled and naked, was a creature that looked like a man. Its appearance was just wild, and its skin was pale and clammy. He turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. To me, I think this could be the infamous skinwalker that always appears rather naked. Could it have also been some person in distress, needing assistance? What do you think? This next video shows an animal that looks a lot like the chupacabra. For those who don't know what this is, the chupacabra, or chupacabras, is a legendary creature in the folklore of parts of the Americas. The name comes from the animal's reported vampirism. The chupacabra is said to attack and drink the blood of livestock, including goats. Physical descriptions of the creature vary. In Puerto Rico and in Latin America, it is generally described as a heavy creature, reptilian and alien, roughly the size of a small bear, and with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. Many people online claim this to be one such creature. But to be honest, I am not sure. Rather, a dog with a skin condition, mistaken to be a cryptid. The ocean holds many secrets, but none as mysterious as the sighting in this footage taken in Israel. A seemingly ordinary video of waves crashing against rocks turns into a haunting experience when a bizarre creature is spotted. The camera is fixated on a rock, and at first, it appears to be a seal. The two men filming saying that to themselves, but on closer inspection, it is something far more unusual. Suddenly, the strange figure turns around, revealing a pale, blurry face, who then crawls towards the back of the rock before jumping into the sea. The two men are astonished by what they witnessed, realizing it was not a seal. If we analyze the video more closely, the mysterious figure does seem to take the form of a mermaid, a mythological creature of the sea. But could this really be a mermaid? Or is it merely a CGI effect? The possibility of this being an optical illusion is not ruled out, but the thought of a mermaid existing in our world is enough to send shivers down one's spine. The ocean is vast and full of secrets, and who knows what else may be lurking in its depths. This video is from the western woods of Košice, Slovakia. A hiker set off on a 2-week trip through the expansive woods of Košice, suddenly feeling an eerie presence, as if someone or something was tracking his every step. In the video, we can see the hiker walking through the forest while recording his surroundings. After a while, he encounters a large branch-made structure, resembling a wooden hut in the distance. Curious, he approaches the hut and notices signs of habitation, including a roof and an entrance. While recording inside the hut, a strong growling noise comes from outside, causing fear to grip him. He quickly starts running and finds himself in a dense part of the forest. As he walks further, the hiker once again hears the rustling of trees nearby. The hiker directs the camera toward the source of the sound, revealing a tall figure shaking the trees intensely. The being locks eyes with the camera, emitting a terrifying noise. The immense size of the being becomes apparent when compared to the nearby trees. This encounter terrifies the hiker, prompting him to flee. After this horrifying encounter, the hiker promised to never venture into those woods again. Could this be the first genuine sighting of a Bigfoot? Or is it something even more terrifying than that? This video comes from a Facebook user who shared their experience of venturing into an area frequently linked with Bigfoot sightings. The video starts with a view of the deep Canadian woods, accompanied by the heavy breathing of the camera person, indicating their unease. As the camera zooms in on the distant trees, something emerges from the woods, briefly appearing before retreating back into the forest. Let's examine this closely. Upon closer inspection, we can see a large figure with a thick black coat covering its body, while it could be mistaken for a gorilla or an ape. The distinct way it walks on two legs and its posture set it apart from the capabilities of such animals. Additionally, the considerable size of its legs and body is different from that of an ape or gorilla. With those options ruled out, we're left to consider it was a Bigfoot. Seeing a Bigfoot is terrifying on its own, but being chased by one, it's a scenario even the bravest souls would rather avoid. This video originates from Nanowin Rivers Park, Canada. Initially, the footage reveals a frozen, snowy river with the forest at its edge. Then, the camera captures some animal droppings, probably from a deer or buck, nothing extraordinary. The man continues his walk, and after a few steps, he spots a lengthy black hair on the ground. Picking it up, he realizes how thick it is. Soon, the man reaches the forest's edge. Venturing into the woods, the man records the environment and the surrounding trees. After a while, distant sounds catch his attention. Panning the camera towards the source, we catch a glimpse of a fur-covered creature walking casually. However, upon noticing the camera, the creature's demeanor shifts from casual to aggressive. It sprints towards the camera, making the cameraman make a quick decision any sensible person would make. He bolts for his life. Watching this, my advice to you is simple. No footage is worth more than your safety. If you ever encounter such a creature, just run. Encountering a real-life mermaid may be the dream of many kids, but the reality might not match expectations. This video captures a mysterious scene on an unidentified shore where scientists covered in protective gear gather around an unknown aquatic creature. Two individuals are also seen standing next to a stretcher. Scientists then carefully lift the creature onto a stretcher, revealing its fish-like tail. However, the atmosphere takes an eerie turn when the scientists move, and we can see the creature's human-like upper body attached to the tail. The being resembles a mermaid, and the scientists transport it away on the stretcher. A number of confusing aspects arise from this scene. Why are scientists wearing such protective suits? Why have they sealed off the area? And why the secrecy surrounding the mermaid-like creature? The questions remain unanswered. In this video, shared by a TikTok user, he explains that he began recording when he heard a noise outside his house. The video shows the man using a flashlight to have a look at nearby bushes, trying to figure out what caused the sound. Suddenly, a rock is thrown from behind him. Startled, the man turns to the direction of the rock and spots two glowing eyes in the distance, lurking in the darkness. Frightened, he quickly leaves the area. The eyes appear very alive and eerie, and they seem to be staring directly at the camera. While it could be an animal, the fact that someone threw a rock raises suspicions. Animals don't usually do that. This video was captured by a wildlife camera intended to record the activities inside a bird's nest. However, it ended up capturing something quite different. While the camera was focused on the nest and the young birds, it also captured a mysterious presence. This dark figure was spotted moving beneath the nest. The video's focus remains on the nest, making it hard to make out the details of this entity. Yet, upon zooming in, we can observe that the creature is entirely black and seems to have a human-like shape, particularly in how it moves. Some viewers of this clip suggest it might be an ape, which is a possibility. However, there are also those who believe it could be the legendary Bigfoot. What's your take on this? The homeowner noticed strange noises coming from the back of the house, which were captured by the security camera. The video captures a chilling, distant scream of a creature. Later, another camera records the same eerie scream coming from the darkness. It could very well be a mountain lion or some other wild animal. But what's unsettling for me is the terrifying rumbling within those screams. The feeling they evoke is like the calls of a skinwalker. Skinwalkers are creatures that only emerge at night and are known for making such cries to communicate with their companions. Whether it was a mountain lion or a skinwalker, it's best for the homeowner to avoid any encounters, especially during the night. Trail cameras are truly fascinating, as they capture animal encounters that would otherwise remain unseen. Yet this particular trail camera has captured something truly strange. In the video, we can see a dense forest. After a few moments, a strange humanoid figure materializes seemingly out of thin air, and then swiftly disappears behind a tree. The video's quality is low, making it hard for me to make out the figure's features, but its shape appears human-like. Also, the way it walks also resembles human movement, but its towering height stands out against the surrounding trees. According to the person who uploaded the video, this forest is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a hunter who once roamed these grounds. Could this be the hunter's spirit revisiting his territory? Or could it be something far more unsettling? As a hiker ventured deeper into the forest, a mysterious sight halted him in his tracks. Heart racing, he fumbled for his phone, ready to capture the uncanny scene that lay directly in front of him. The camera's focus shifts, revealing an enigmatic figure with an oddly shaped head, gazing downward as if sensing something beyond the trees. But what is weird is that this creature seems to walk on two and looking around in a human-like manner. Yet we can clearly see it's not human. Suddenly, it straightened, revealing its towering stature and massive hunched back that set it apart from any known creature. Emerging from the trees, it paused, its watchful eyes scanning the surroundings once more before its gaze slowly turned, locking onto the direction of the hiker. Time seemed to stand still as the hiker's fear clashed with his determination to remain hidden. The creature's intense gaze held him captive, his heart pounding in his chest. Then, as if breaking a spell, the creature averted its gaze and continued its silent journey through the woods, disappearing from view and bringing the video to an eerie close. While much about the video remains a mystery, the creature's behavior hints at a deliberate avoidance of being seen, shrouding itself in an air of unsettling secrecy. Residents of a small town in Asia reported that at night, they heard sounds coming from an abandoned cave a few kilometers away from the town. So one night, they decided to search the cave to find out the cause of the strange sound. But upon entering the cave, they found something very disturbing. They caught sight of a woman on all four limbs, and as they approached her, she began making her way towards them in a very frightening manner. Her face was pale white and her eyes were very chilling to look into. But the most terrifying thing was the way she crawled towards them. The people were terrified and confused about what the old lady was doing in the abandoned cave, why she was on her 4 limbs, and if she was the one making the strange sounds they heard at night. This video was uploaded to TikTok by a biker named Josie Maria. He and his pals decided to go for a bike ride on a dirt road one night. They were having fun cruising along when something really spooky got caught on Josie's camera. In the video, Josie breaks away from the biker in front and takes a different path. But as he turns onto this narrow trail, his bike's light shines on something in the middle of the road. It's quick, like a blink, and you'll miss it moment. But what he saw was super creepy. It looked a lot like a woman wearing a black gown with long brown hair covering her face. And because it was so late at night, some folks might think it could be a ghost. Sure, there might be people saying it was just a tree trunk or something, but the way Jose reacted right away shows he wasn't so sure about that. What do you think? Could it have been something spooky? In a quiet house, a woman was alone with her dog when suddenly the lights went out, leaving everything dark. She was puzzled by the problem and heard a noise outside. Armed with a flashlight and her phone, she went to investigate and found something unexpected. When she looked out of the window, she saw her gate opening and closing on its own, even though there was no wind. She got curious and looked around for an explanation, and that's when she spotted something really scary. With her flashlight, she aimed it towards the gate and saw what seemed like a person in black clothes staring back at her. Imagine being alone in the dark with a strangely dressed person outside your gate. That would give anyone goosebumps. The woman was scared too, but she needed to be sure of what she saw. So she got a brighter flashlight, and when she returned, something weird happened. Instead of the person, she saw a black cat in the same spot. But she was convinced she had seen a person, so she kept looking. And then, on the other side of the gate, she saw the same figure in black clothes. She got really scared and quickly turned off her flashlight. At that moment, she heard 3 loud bangs on her door. The video ends there, and we don't know what happened to the woman that night, but it feels like something you'd see in a scary movie. A bunch of close friends embark on a wild rowing adventure down a turbulent river. The waves are crashing, and the excitement is palpable. One of them grabs his camera, ready to capture the thrills. Little did he know, he'd capture something far beyond thrilling. As the guy in his one-man boat battles against the force of the river, the camera's lens suddenly spots a mysterious movement at the left edge of the frame. From behind a gnarled tree emerges a figure, shrouded in an eerie aura. In that fleeting moment, its massive physique comes into focus. A hulking upper body that exudes an air of intimidation. It's as if the legendary enigma, Bigfoot, has stepped right out of the shadows. The guys, lost in the rush of the adventure, were completely clueless about the extraordinary sight they'd just caught on camera. But imagine their mix of exhilaration and unease when they later watched the recording, realizing that they had unwittingly brushed against something far more mystifying than they could have ever imagined. This video was recorded in Caledonia Street, Scotland. A pair of tourists decided to take a leisurely nighttime stroll down this quiet street. One of them thought it'd be cool to record the adventure on his phone. Little did he know, he was about to capture something way more than he bargained for. In the video, These tourists are walking along, and they come across this old, eerie-looking house. You know, the kind you'd expect to see in a horror movie. They're peering around when all of a sudden, they spot some movement up in a flat's window. Now, this is where things get seriously strange. You see, that house is in a place called Clune Park Estate, and it's got a spooky reputation. It's this rundown, isolated spot that's supposed to be torn down soon. But what happens next shatters the idea that it's abandoned. After catching that movement in the window, they focus on it, and guess what? Someone's peering out from behind the glass, then quickly ducks away. But here's the kicker. This someone isn't like your everyday person. Nope, not at all. This figure's got a head that's all sorts of wrong. Dark patches around the eyes, and get this, something that looks like a horn on its forehead. It's like something out of a nightmare. The video ends with the tourists rushing towards the door, probably wanting to get an explanation for whatever they just witnessed. There are supposed to be 430 flats in that estate, but only 20 people live there. After seeing this video, you'd probably agree that it's not just humans who call that place home. This footage comes from a guy who's been dealing with some freaky stuff going down in his house for a few weeks. So he sets up a camera in the room where most of the weirdness has been happening. And what he captures? It's the stuff of nightmares. He's out having drinks with his buddies when his phone notifies him. It's the camera telling him there's movement in the house. You can bet he's feeling a mix of curiosity and straight up dread as he checks it out. In the video, we're looking at what seems to be a regular storage room. Nothing unusual at first glance. But then something way off starts happening. An object at the back of the room starts shifting, like someone's actually moving it. But here's the kicker. No one should be in the house. When you zoom in, it's like someone or something pokes their head out, stares right into the camera for a brief, heart-stopping second, and then pulls back. Now, that's freaky on its own. But here's what makes it a horror show. This person or thing knew exactly where the camera was. They knew their way around his house. After watching this, I'm willing to bet the homeowner found somewhere else to spend the night, and possibly the rest of the weekend as well. A man and his cat were having a chill time at night at his residence when suddenly he heard something drop in his room closet. Since they were alone in the apartment, he grabbed his phone and began recording. As the video begins, we see the cat standing next to the closet and looking up above like there is something or someone there. Then, out of nowhere, the closet cotton is flung open without an indication as to who or what opened it. This strange phenomenon sends even the cat scampering away as the homeowner stands in confusion about what he just witnessed. But in a bid to find an explanation, the homeowner enters the closet and experiences something frightening.
I don't know what the hell it is. No. Oh, hell no.
During his inspection, a plastic container from a shelf falls to the ground and comes to rest beside his work table. This forces the homeowner to abandon the inspection and possibly his house too. The video ends there, and although there is no concrete explanation for any of this, it would be extremely terrifying for anyone to be in that situation. A group of teenagers went on an adventure in the woods surrounding their town, and on their way back, they got lost. They decided to take a recording of the place to let someone outside direct them out of the forest, but they captured something terrifying. In the video, the man with the camera films the forest and then turns it towards his friends. Only 3 people came with him into the woods, but somehow there are now 4 people behind him, and it becomes clear who the newcomer is. We see what looks like a dark shadow behind the 3 friends. It had the frame of a human but the presence and motion of a ghost. The three friends probably thought they were being pranked by the guy recording because the shadow man hid away before they could see him. They definitely had chills when they got to watch the video. At home with his family at night, a homeowner's attention is brought to some disturbance in his backyard. With a flashlight in hand, he goes to check it out, but meets something unexpected. As the video begins, he goes into the forest by the backyard in search of the source of the noise and notices movement behind a tree.
Hey, you're gonna get away from my house, okay?
But isn't able to make anything of it. So he adjusts the brightness on his flashlight while approaching the tree and is spooked by what he sees. Out of nowhere, a head peers out from behind the tree and drops back shortly after. And even with the poor lighting, the creature can be seen to have dark hair and dark eyes. Who or what was she, and what was she doing in the homeowner's backyard late at night? Well, the homeowner didn't wait to find out as he took off into his house, locked all the doors, and had a long, quiet, sleepless night. A security staff was on shift at his company's control room. He observed the surveillance videos of the building and noticed something peculiarly odd, so he decided to film it. The video shows the live footage of an empty office in the company. Suddenly, in a dark corner of the office, something is moving in a sideways motion as it disappears and appears multiple times. Upon close inspection, the unknown floating object resembles a face with dark eyes and a wide mouth. And that is more believable because as the face moves, the light from the monitor screen on the table gets covered, showing that as the head moves, the body moves as well. Now we might know that the figure has human-like features, but that doesn't explain its eerie motions and disappearing acts. The video leaves a lot to the imagination, so we'll never know if it was a result of the light deflection, a strange human, or the office ghost. Two brothers were out in their home's backyard, enjoying a game of fetch with their dog. Suddenly, things become less enjoyable, as one of them sees something startling in the forests nearby. He looks into the forest and sees something staring right back in his direction, like it had been watching him all the while. But that wasn't as scary as what he saw next. The creature, which appeared to have been crouching before, suddenly springs up on its legs, revealing its frightening length, and starts walking towards the boys. The creature had what appeared to be black fur covering its entire body and could easily be mistaken for a monkey or a bear, but it walked with so much coordination that some people might associate the creature to be the well-known Bigfoot. The creature approached the boys and flung his very long hands sporadically in the air, which signaled that he wasn't happy to see them. And the boys got the message as they retreated into their home. The video ends there, but the boys will always be very wary that their not-so-friendly next-door neighbor is a territorial Bigfoot. Out on a night stroll through the forest, a man took out his phone to capture the night sky and the forest scenery. While recording, he walks past a tree, notices something behind it, and backtracks to take a closer look at what would be a truly terrifying sight. He gets to the tree and points his phone flashlight to see two bright eyes shining directly at him. Upon close inspection, the eyes appear to be that of a male human, as we see a hand by its side. He also appears to be shirtless as he stares at the passerby without end. The man wastes no time, as his stroll becomes a frantic race out of the forest. Mitchell was at home, honing her drum skills on a drum set belonging to her out-of-town brother. And her mom, quick to seize the moment, decides to capture the scene on video. But what she captures is not just a cool drum session. As the camera rolls, Mitchell's mom moves around, showing off the room. But here's where things go haywire. In the closet, a figure pops up. I'm talking about some girl with pitch black hair, wearing a semi-see-through white gown. And get this, Michelle and her mom are the only ones home. Oblivious to the fact that they're not actually alone. Michelle's drumming her heart out, the ghost in the closet watching it all go down. And then comes the big reveal. The camera swings back to the closet, and guess what? It's empty. That's right, the figure's gone. And that's when it hits. They were chilling with a ghost, and they had zero clue about it. The video cuts off there, but you can imagine that the mom and Michelle had a serious chat about moving out after seeing that footage. A tourist discovered a psychiatric hospital that had been closed down for several years due to numerous reports of paranormal events. He then strolls around the property while recording and catches something you'd expect to see in a horror flick. He's wandering around, filming his adventure, when he points his camera toward the windows. And then, out of nowhere, there's movement. You see it too, right? At the top left window, something's moving past it. But here's the kicker. This hospital's been closed up like no one's supposed to be there. And there's no way anyone should be walking past those windows. So, what the heck is going on? Think about it. There are only a couple of explanations here. Either it's some tricky play of light on the window that's messing with our minds, or it's something way more spine-chilling. A ghost maybe, haunting those abandoned halls. Now, here's the freaky part. The guy with the camera. He's totally clueless about what he just caught on tape. He just keeps on exploring, not realizing the can of worms he's opened. Imagine having all those questions bubbling up in your head and no answers in sight. It's the kind of thing that'd make you think twice about ever going near that place again. Driving across town at night, a family stops briefly to stretch out their legs. Then, they spot something on the other side of the road and begin recording. As the video begins, we see a figure emerge from the tree and appear to be hiding from the family, something which it fails at. It has a black coat around it and is taller than an average human, which are all characteristics of the creature often referred to as Bigfoot. After observing safely from a distance, the family stopped recording, got into their vehicle, and resumed the journey to get as far away from the creature as possible. Trail cameras are strategically placed in forests to capture the beauty of nature and its creatures. However, sometimes they manage to capture something quite different, something far, far away from the usual beauty. This video comes from a wildlife camera recording a forest at night. In the recording, we can see that there's a movement in the distance in bushes, and it's not immediately clear what it is. But the unsettling part comes when we realize that this movement is of a mysterious presence, and it isn't moving away. It's actually coming towards the camera. As this eerie figure approaches, we can make out its head and a boxy body, but no arms. What's even creepier is that while its head appears human-like, its body doesn't resemble any known creature on Earth. Whatever this terrifying being is, one thing is certain: you wouldn't want it lurking in your backyard. An adventure explorer shared this video on his Facebook page. He used a drone to film a nearby field and stumbled upon an abandoned house in the midst of the field. Next, what he captured on film is like something from a chilling nightmare. In the video, we can see the worn-out and deserted house standing in the field. At first glance, everything appears ordinary, but as the drone moves to the back of the property, it reveals an open door. Inside that doorway, a human-like figure is hunched over, engrossed in eating something. What's eerie is that this figure, with its pale white appearance, moves like a wild dog. The way it eats and moves is just unsettling and terrifying. What could this creature be? A nightcrawler or perhaps a skinwalker? It's up to you to decide. Deserted islands are a paradise for those who crave adventure, offering endless exploration. Yet, these islands also have secrets that human eyes weren't meant to witness. This video is captured by a drone camera sent to one such abandoned island. The footage first showcases the island's natural beauty and a glimpse of a small, forsaken cottage. After that, another abandoned house comes into view, its entrance blocked by a massive wooden piece. And then the drone flies off. Did you catch it? Let's zoom in a bit closer. As we zoom in on the glass window of this abandoned house, we notice a shadowy form materializing on it, only to vanish after a few moments. This figure looks like a shadow of a really tall person. However, the island has remained abandoned for a decade now, so there's no explanation for who or what that presence could be. Luckily, the explorer chose to use a drone to document this eerie encounter rather than going there in person. One can only imagine what might have unfolded had they gone there themselves. During a mountain hike, a hiker suddenly spotted something in the distance and started recording. In the video, we can make out a large creature covered in a thick coat of black fur, moving through the woods. Although we only catch a mere glimpse, it's quite a sight. Some might suggest it's just an ape, but the way it's walking on two legs isn't typical for an ape. Moreover, its immense size and body structure are resembling a Bigfoot. The mix of awe and fear that this creature evokes is quite a feeling. Regardless of whether it turns out to be a Bigfoot or not, the most important thing is that the hiker was safe and sound. This drone video is from Cannock Chase, England. The footage captures a figure dressed in white standing at the forest's edge. The video provides various angles of this figure, with long hair and an enigmatic stance. The figure gazes directly at the drone, which is quite unsettling. Interestingly, this area has witnessed other sightings of the same white-clad entity. Legend suggests it might be the spirit of a victim from the killings that happened in that area. While there's a chance it could be a prank or a cult activity, the intriguing possibility remains. Could the tales of the black-eyed spirits hold some truth? A man named Igor Kryan shared a video on his YouTube, believing he captured the first ever sighting of a Yeti. In the video, a snowy forest stretches ahead, and a creature stands in the foreground, as white as the snow itself. This creature is truly unique, with its size and long arms. Its body shape is resembling that of a snow wolf, but with extra long arms and a distinct frame. Its face also doesn't resemble that of any creature we know. The eerie aspect of this footage is that it appears the Yeti is aware of being watched, its gaze fixed on the person recording. Examining this creature up close is an experience I'd rather never have in my lifetime. Road trips with your family create cherished memories, but sometimes those memories can take a scary turn. This video comes from a family on a road trip. They spot a moose by the roadside and start recording, but what they capture goes beyond the moose.
Oh wow! Il mange, il est tout relax là.
Je peux voir, je peux voir?
Ben tu le vois, regarde dehors.
Non, je vois rien, attends.
You are a star today.
In the forest, another creature can be seen lurking. This cryptid stalker moves restlessly, as if waiting for the right moment. We don't know if it's waiting to pounce on the animal or perhaps on the family in the car. The creature itself doesn't resemble anything familiar. It's hunched over and has an eerie white appearance, reminiscent of the rake. What adds to the fright is that the children are also inside the car, witnessing this from a rather unsafe distance. What's your take on this mysterious encounter? Even hideous evil monsters need to stay in shape to terrorize. This video captures an eerie tall figure on a distant mountain. Strangely, it's not engaged in any horrifying actions. It's simply doing push-ups on the mountainside. As the video zooms in, we notice its lengthy legs and arms extended for each push-up. While it might be tempting to think it's just an exceptionally tall person, comparing its size to the distance and mountain makes us doubt that explanation. What's more, upon closer inspection, the figure seems to possess webbed fingers and a single leg, adding to its unsettling nature. So, what's your take on this? Was it merely a tall individual going on with his mountain workout, or was it an unknown creature getting in shape to terrorize us? Drones have opened up a world of amazing sights that were once beyond our reach. Flying over Canada's calm river, this drone captures an intriguing scene. A creature in the river that resembles a river monster. This unknown aquatic being has a really long body and swims on the water's surface, resembling of a shark's movement. Some might argue it's a collection of algae or debris attached to a fallen tree from the frost, now floating on the water. However, this creature is in motion. Despite the calm waters, it creates ripples around itself, which makes it a living being. Also, another thing to notice is that this thing has snow on its back. So it could be that it was on the ground at nighttime. That means it could be possible that it's a large crocodile. What if it was the first ever real sighting of a monster like Nessie? This video was posted by a man on TikTok in which he was out exploring a field of bushes at night. He used night vision to see clearly in the recording. While he was recording and moving through the bushes, he spotted something ahead. It looked like a creature that's kind of like a human, but it was bent over and doing something in the bushes. When the person zooms in on the creature notices and suddenly looks right at him. This freaks the person out, and they start running away. At first glance, the strange creature looks like a tall and skinny person, hunched in the bushes. But when you take a closer look, its bent back and long, curved neck make it even creepier. That hunched back, long neck, and those glowing eyes all remind you of something like a skinwalker. But let's hope it's not actually one of those. While a forest ranger was out observing the forest and its inhabitants, as he was recording, he unexpectedly came across a gigantic Bigfoot-like creature in the distance. This big creature was only seen walking for a few seconds before disappearing behind the trees. Some people might say it could be an ape just going for a walk. But if you look closely at how it's walking on two legs, it's different. Apes can stand on two legs. But the way this creature is moving with that posture in the video doesn't match up with how an ape would do it. Moreover, this creature is enormous. Its body is so big, especially when you compare it to the trees around it. It also has long arms and a thick black coat of fur, just like what we'd expect from a Bigfoot. The way it walks and posture even looks kind of human. So, in my opinion, this might actually be a real sighting of a Bigfoot. What do you think? Motion cameras are a big help for homeowners. They detect movement, take pictures, and send alerts. These cameras are also good for recording forest life, but sometimes they capture things that the humans aren't meant to see. This video is from a motion camera set up in a forest in Sydney, Australia. The camera got triggered by movement in the trees ahead. At first, when we watch the footage, there's nothing visible. Everything seems normal. Maybe just a wild cat or deer passing by. But when the video is zoomed in, things get creepy. We can spot a terrifying face hiding in the darkness, sitting beside a tree. What's even scarier is its glowing eyes, just staring blankly at the camera. It does this for a while, and then the video stops. What do you think that face was? A woman shared a picture of her new room setup on her Facebook account, excited to show it to her friends. However, the comments she received weren't about her room. They were about something else. At first glance, the picture seems normal. A sofa placed in front of a treadmill, a cozy arrangement. But if you take a closer look at the reflection in the closet mirror, you'll notice a face. When you zoom in on that face, it's not a human face, but that of a really creepy demon child. What makes it eerie is that the woman had no idea she was living with such a presence, always watching from the shadows. Ring cameras have become essential for homes, especially in forested areas. This video is from one such ring camera. In footage, a naked man is seen walking alone at night. Surprisingly, he doesn't appear bothered by his nudity. But he's clearly terrified of something or someone. The naked man roams around the homeowner's property, yelling and searching for something. He leaves briefly, then returns to grab a pipe from the homeowner's place. Afterward, he moves to a side path, searching for something, before eventually heading back to where he came from. The unsettling part is that this man was on a late-night quest, seemingly searching for something while no one else was around. I wonder what he would have done if the homeowner confronted him. What was his purpose? Was he genuinely disturbed by something or dealing with mental instability? The answer remains a mystery. This is a video from a ring camera of a home. We can see that in the ring cam video, it's pitch black night and it's raining. A woman approaches the door, holding an umbrella, and proceeds to ring the doorbell. Initially, it appears as if she's yawning while pressing the doorbell. As the doorbell chimes, she steps back slightly, closing her mouth after the yawn. However, things get weird. She opens her mouth wide again, standing there with her mouth agape. This unsettling sight continues for a full 20 seconds. After this time, she presses the doorbell once more, still with her mouth wide open, before finally leaving the property. The eerie part is that this unfolds in the dead of night, and the woman's prolonged mouth opening raises shivers as we consider what might have happened if the homeowner had chosen to answer the door. Capturing the beauty of clouds on a lovely day is a wonderful experience. However, that wasn't the case for this individual. In the video, we see someone using a time lapse to capture the changing sky, and everything seems ordinary with people moving in and out of the frame. But then, something peculiar occurs. Out of nowhere, a greenish, glowing smoke materializes and quickly disappears. Upon closer inspection and slow-motion playback, it's evident that this smoke emerges from thin air and vanishes just as mysteriously. What adds to the oddness is that the video was in time-lapse mode, making the appearance of the smoke surprisingly fast. What could this sighting possibly be? Is it a spirit? You decide. A girl received a video from the local police, and it's like something from a bad dream.
This is what the police sent me. This is what they found from all the footage.
In the video, there's a girl wearing a night dress, and she's crouched next to a car in a really strange way, almost not like a human. She's hunched over on the ground. Then she jumps to her right like a dog would. After that, she starts eating something from the ground, and her back is hunched in a way that doesn't seem possible for a person. Finally, she stands up and walks back into her house. The girl who got this video from the police says they told her that it was actually her in the video, probably sleepwalking. But she's sure that it can't be her because she would have noticed. And she was in bed, getting ready for work the next day.
I know for a fact that I worked the next morning and I have to wake up at 6 a.m. I know I was in bed. I know I was in bed.
It's pretty spooky to think that someone could do all of that while sleepwalking and doesn't know about anything the next morning. I really hope she never sleepwalks near my property. This clip comes from a tourist enjoying the beauty of Mono Lake, California. The tourist starts recording, capturing the stunning view of the lake. While filming the lake, they pan the camera to capture the rock formation next to it. Did you catch it? Upon reviewing the video, the tourist realizes there was something near the rock that they didn't notice while recording. Upon zooming in, a large black figure resembling a Bigfoot emerges from behind the rock and then mysteriously disappears. Upon closer examination, the figure's massive body and thick black fur resemble that of the legendary Bigfoot. Do you share the same thought? These videos that I am about to show you come from Scott Carpenter, and he is certain that in the area where he lives, there lives at least one Bigfoot, but he is stranger than any one Bigfoot you've seen. He claims that this Bigfoot is a completely white one, and he has some evidence to show for that claim. He traversed the forests and took recordings of every journey, and with more long hours of going through every footage and enhancing it, he has found some strange sightings of something that's been stalking him all throughout his journey. He has spotted many times a white figure trying to hide near bushes or trees while keeping a close eye on his movements. Scott's cameras managed to pick up multiple occurrences of this, but one of the best sights he caught was the creature's face. We can see the special color of the creature, which I am guessing isn't helping it hide at all in a green forest. But the creature also seems strangely creepy and cautious at the same time, as if he is fearing Scott. Could this be a mutation of the known Bigfoot creature? A mutation that made it completely white? This security footage was taken by someone who set up these cameras because they believe the house is haunted and wanted proof of that. And as you are about to see in this clip, the house certainly is haunted. We can see the woman sleeping in her room, everything starting out normal, but just a bit past 8 p.m. we can see the door of a small cabinet opening on its own. Soon after, the light inside it start going on and off, but creepier, the stand near her bed seems to move slowly, to a point where it hits the bed, as if to wake her up. Once she wakes up thinking she heard something, she calls after someone in the house, who immediately comes to comfort her.
Honey?
They go back into the room to check again, knowing something is not right, but decide they do not want to stay in that room any longer. But just a few seconds after they leave, this happens. The footage ends there, but we can all say with certainty, something is wrong in that house. Could it be a poltergeist playing with them? A lady shared this video on her TikTok account, convinced that she captured a glimpse of a Bigfoot. The video starts with a creature peeking out from the bushes, almost like it's hiding. The creature moves around, covered in black fur. The woman recording the video mentions it's been there for about 5 minutes, and she's puzzled about what it could be.
I'm not sure what that is, but I ain't gonna lie, it's a little unnerving.
This creature might look like an ape or a bear at first glance, but what's really unsettling is its massive size and how much space it occupies. It's way bigger than a regular bear or ape. What adds to the fear is that it's just standing there, as if waiting for the lady to step out of her car. maybe even planning something. What could it be? Is it really a Bigfoot? Or is it something even more frightening than that? A lady posted this video on her TikTok page and firmly believes that the creatures caught by the camera are the affirmed Bigfoot. As the video begins, we can see a creature standing behind a tree. It seems to be hiding behind the tree trunk. It can be seen peeping. At the same moment, another bipedal creature dashes from the right side. It is carrying something that looks like a basket. The woman recording claimed that these unidentified creatures could be stealing chicken that I think are hidden in the basket. One can mistake this too to be ape animals. But as we know, primates normally walk on fours and occasionally on twos. Do you notice their hunched backs and that they are enveloped in a rough coat of black hair? But at the same time, all this seems too convenient. Someone filming just as these creatures are passing by, without any of them noticing the cameraman presence. And also, their size is just too similar to a person, so I am willing to say that most likely this video is fake. Do you think the same? In this video, two teens experience a scary and unforgettable sight. As they are walking in the middle of the night for God knows what reason, they came across a white masquerade mask lying on top of some dirty rags. As they go on, they find another white mask hanging beside the trunk of a tree. These masks are pretty frightening, and one would wonder the braveness of this duo. As they continue with their walk, amidst the tall grass, a mask suddenly appears, and this time it seems to be worn by someone. This terrifies the boys, and the video ends as they scamper away in fright. Could it be that someone could be pranking these lads, or something mystical was out there? Could it be some sort of cult? The security camera caught a ghostly apparition hovering above a man who went to visit a graveyard of a loved one. The footage shows the man kneeling down over the tombstone, and the ghost appears to lean over the man's shoulders. The man does not notice the presence of the ghost and continues mourning. Even as the man stands up and walks away, a white shadow can be spotted looming in the area. Perhaps the ghost was friendly and only came to comfort the man. Maybe a ghost of the person who this man lost, still lingering to offer comfort to him. This video was recorded in 2013 in the depths of the forest in Mississippi. A ranger walking in the middle of the woods, as he was surveying the area, he stumbles upon a huge beast. A dark figure is seen standing in the forest. The video has low lighting and it is hazy. Because of this, I cannot make out the details of the figure. When its physique is closely examined, the creature has a massive body frame and a thick coat of fur covering it from its head. Notice its humanoid nature as it walks bipedally amongst the trees. The man recording is persistent and keeps on chasing it, but soon stops as he realizes that he is on the heels of a Bigfoot. Others have suggested that it might be just a normal ape creature, while others have debated that this enigmatic being might be the Bigfoot. And certainly, I would agree with the latter, since to me, an ape wouldn't be this huge. An interesting spectacle is captured in a river. A mysterious, furry creature lingers in the middle of the river, standing half submerged in the water. What we are seeing is its back as it is facing the other direction. Considering the reported height of this river to be 5 to 6 feet, I think this creature might be a really tall one. As much as we are intrigued by the idea of a real Bigfoot sighting, we can't ignore the unusual physique of this specific one. It's notably leaner and slenderer than the typical descriptions of the Bigfoot. So could we be authentically looking at a Bigfoot, preferably a female kind? Or maybe is it a hoax of some kind crafted to fool its audience? The owner of this house was met by a strange sight when they went to investigate the strange noises that came from their roof. An ominous creature of abnormal shape and size was lurking on the rooftop. It appears to have an alien head that appears almost human. Due to the low light, I cannot quite make out its facial features. As for its unusual body, it has short arms and torso with no legs visible. This gives out eerie vibes since the intentions and identity of the creature are unknown. Could it be an alien entity? What could you have done if you were to find such a creature hanging around on your rooftop? In the remote expanse of the snowy mountains, a vigilant camera lens captures an enigmatic spectacle, a scene shrouded in both intrigue and mystery. A humanoid figure casually walking in the middle of the woods. Upon investigation, this figure has a rich coat of fur enveloping its entire form. Notice how its arms are long, almost reaching its knees. It has a near upright posture, thus possessing the known characteristics of the Bigfoot. It's possible to consider the alternative perspective of the observed figure might have been a person donning a Bigfoot costume. This interpretation introduces an element of skepticism into the equation, suggesting the potential for intentional misrepresentation. A man in the snowy mountains claims to have come across the Bigfoot walking. At first, it looks like a normal man scaling the snowy landscape, but notice how abnormally large this figure is. It is unusual for a man to be of that size. As it moves forward, we get to see its odd walking style. When closely analyzed, the creature appears to have a thick black and white fury body, although the white could be snow stuck on its fur. This bizarre scene is bound to rouse up speculations as to whether the creature could be a possible Bigfoot. This family was out enjoying Mother Nature when they detect something prowling not far from where they were. The recorder at once swings his camera to the strange creature's direction, and there it is. Something or someone seems to be watching them in the tall grass. At first you can't make out what it is, but once the video is stabilized, the creature can be defined. It is an all-black figure, as if covered by fur. Look at its hunched posture and bipedal stance. Many people have suggested this to be none other than the Bigfoot itself. Could have this family run into the Sasquatch? What do you think? This video is recorded by someone in a police station who happened to see the weird behavior of this officer. He is seen standing in the hallway, making gestures as if he's speaking to someone. But there is obviously no one there. We can see his hand gestures, as if trying to explain something.
Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a elderly lady. I saw her walking by the store, and she said she's looking for Mr. Griffin. Her name is Miss Abigail.
Did you say Miss Abigail?
Yes, ma'am. She says she wants to see Mr. Griffin, and I told her that the canvas is closed, that she should come tomorrow morning, and she might see Mr. Griffin.
She's been passed on for 2 years now. No, there's nobody in front of you at all.
The lady reaches out to the police officer, asking, who is he talking to? He responds saying that he's talking to a lady named Abigail who is looking for someone. The lady apparently knows who he is talking to because she immediately tells him the lady has passed 2 years ago. The officer asks if she cannot see on camera who he is talking to, Miss Abigail apparently still being there. The moment he realizes what is going on, he begins backing off, turning into a full sprint to get the heck out of there. I think we've all heard about situations like this one, where someone is met by a friendly visitor, perhaps asking for help, and only after the fact do we realize they were never there. As this video begins, all seems to be normal in this spooky place. Then suddenly, a very scary creature walks out from behind the tree, and its form is rather unearthly. It appears humanoid, though having a thin frame and an elongated head like that of an alien. It has a short stature, and it walks bipedally while bending its back. What's unsettling is that its arms are extended and reach the ground. See how thin the arms are and look like long rods. These arms look to be the ones supporting its body. What exactly is this unearthly being? Maybe a modified version of the Skinwalker, or this could be just an edited video. The owner of this house must have been really shocked when she saw this video the following morning. A security camera shows us the kitchen of where a series of disturbing events take place. A perturbing sound of unknown origin is heard as though something was rustling about in the dishes. Then suddenly, the cupboards fly open, and the cutlery are heard banging all over the place. What's frightening is that no one seems to be in the kitchen, and all these happen supernaturally. This place is undoubtedly haunted by a very daunting ghost, and they better vacate early before situations erupt. This heart-stopping footage of an unknown creature amidst the tall grasses was captured by a brave man walking in the middle of the night for unknown reasons. As he shines his flashlight in a particular direction, he stops when he notices a pale figure looming in the tall grassland. It appears to be squatted on something facing downwards. I think it could be feasting on remains of a carcass. As he zooms in, suddenly the creature lifts its head up, revealing two otherworldly eyes which glare at the man hauntingly and eerily. This really spooks the man. This creature is pretty scary, and I would not want to encounter one face to face. From past recorded incidents, this creature resembles the Rake, a cryptid known to stalk and terrorize people. We can see the recording from someone who is driving their motorcycle behind an ambulance, perhaps going to an emergency. Based on the writing on the ambulance, I think this might be India. The camera quickly pans towards the right, where we can see a dense forest. But more terrifying, there is something lurking in the bushes. As he advances, he can see a lion creepily staring back at him. His quick thinking makes him go next to the ambulance, in order have it act as a shield. We can see the lion keeps its stare on the man, and I am sure if he was alone, without those two other vehicles, he would have been the lion's next meal. These lions have become more and more confident around humans. The lion attack on humans, especially in India, increasing dramatically in recent years. In this gripping video, we follow the perspective of a police officer on a mission in a dark house, accompanied by a colleague. They use flashlights to navigate the dim environment. As they cautiously descend the stairs, a sudden noise, like something falling from a nearby room, startles them.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Right now! Trinidad King 1, did you copy that?
Upon investigating, they find nothing out of the ordinary at first. However, the tension escalates when they enter a room and initially see nothing. But then, chillingly, the figure of a young girl with her face obscured by black hair emerges. The policeman yells for the girl to get on the ground, but what happens next is truly terrifying. In an instant, the girl appears right in front of the policeman and attacks him. Her movements and behavior are far from normal, suggesting something supernatural, more akin to a ghost than a human. This video leaves an unsettling impression. The sudden, inexplicable attack by the girl, who seemed to move supernaturally fast adds a layer of horror to the situation. In the following footage, a remote control drone is taken out for a spin in Salt Fork State Park, Ohio. As the pilot takes it out on a test run practicing its hovering capabilities, he unintentionally captures footage of a large, dark figure lurking amongst the trees. Pay attention to the left side of the screen. The footage is easily missed. It looks like a large black dot. But watch as the video is enhanced with a spotlight. The figure becomes unmistakably clear. The drone is eventually lowered to the ground, and the unsuspecting pilot comes to claim it was completely unaware that only a few feet away this hulking creature is standing, more than likely aware of him, listening to him, watching him.
His spectator, he's not standing that far away. Not far enough for me.
What do you think? Is this footage authentic? A bright and warm summer day. This poster is enjoying time out in nature, but they are not the only ones soaking up the sunshine. Watch what becomes visible when they spot a shape in the distance. Zooming in with the full capacity of the phone camera, a familiar figure is recorded resting against a tree. Recognize the ape-like features, the color of its fur. Imagine its size if this video was filmed and zoomed in from some distance. Imagine you're hiking through the woods with your dog. Suddenly you become aware that you are not alone. Just beyond, in a clearing through the trees, you spot a large dark shape resting on a tree stump. In this footage, the poster appears to capture something large, black, and covered in fur. The quality of the video is poor, but a shape is visible, as are its movements for a fraction of a second. Beyond this, it's anyone's guess whether it's Bigfoot or a bear.
He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here.
All we have to go on is the conviction of the poster's claim and the rising fear in his voice as he calls out to his dog. Not all First Nation beliefs around Sasquatch are favorable. Whilst some believe that sightings of Bigfoot bring good luck, members of the Plateau tribes identify Bigfoot as a stick Indian, drawing from a diverse range of potentially hostile beings who stole salmon or confused people by whistling, causing them to get lost. Here, a poster zooms in on a figure spotted in the woods. The large Neanderthal-like creature is studying something intently in the branches of the tree, unaware that it's being filmed. It has been suggested that it is stalking something. Is this an ape filmed from a deceptive angle that makes it look far larger than it is? Or is it a Sasquatch? You be the judge. Depending on who you ask, the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger as it is more commonly known, has been extinct for decades, or just really good at hiding. This sighting captured in Clifton Springs, Australia in 2019 claims to be the real deal. Resembling something closer to a wolf than a tiger with distinct dark stripes on its back and tail, the thylacine was hunted to extinction by European settlers who held unwarranted fears that the carnivorous marsupials would attack their livestock. The last known Tasmanian tiger was given to the Hobart Zoo in Tasmania in 1931, and it died in captivity in 1936. More recently, cryptozoologists, hikers, and hunters have claimed to have spotted the animal. But a study conducted by scientists based on sightings suggests that they got it wrong. Some are adamant that the species are not extinct. The animal caught on camera here seems to represent a compelling argument. It does resemble a wolf, and the stripes are visible on its tail. Unfortunately, it might just be too far away to be considered conclusive. Our hopes are that scientific study did get it wrong, and that the species has managed to survive in some remote part of Tasmania, far away from human interference and harm. This footage terrified me the first time I saw it. A creature that looks like a combination of a woman with some kind of feline animal. But what I then thought upon seeing this is that it looks similar to the legendary mythical creature known as succubus, which is a kind of demon that appears in a female form, or supernatural entity in folklore, traced back to medieval legend. It is said to appear in dreams, and takes the form of a woman in order to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. I am pretty sure this footage is fake, as I am not exactly sure how anyone would be able to survive such an encounter, if they do indeed exist in the first place. What do you think of this footage? The following video, shot in Fort Wilkins Historic State Park, claims to have captured a Sasquatch on camera. In the video, the large, furry humanoid creature is clearly seen walking through the forest. At some point, realizing it has been spotted, it stops and takes cover, blending into the environment. This is by far some of the closest and clearest footage we've seen in a while, and perhaps we've been conditioned to be skeptical of this kind of footage. Again, compare how this Sasquatch moves and the awkward way it peers through the branches. Is it just me, or is it walking like it's got a bad back? The peering through the bush also feels staged. Sasquatch or hoax? Picture this. You've just moved into a new place. Your first taste of independence. The only problem is that since you moved in, your dog won't stop yelping and clawing at the entrance hall closet. At night, he refuses to come up the stairs. You've also started hearing things. Sometimes a door will creak open, or just as you're falling asleep, the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. This is exactly what this guy was experiencing in his new house. For these reasons, he decided to set up cameras to see if anything comes up. He sets one in the kitchen and proceeds to climb the steps towards his room. But just as he does this, something behind follows him upstairs. We can even see that this shadow figure has some sort of legs. Is it a ghost that is trapped in the house, or is it something more malevolent lurking there? Avoid creepy, abandoned buildings. They always attract the worst kinds of things. The poster of this video claims he got a skinwalker on camera. He went to explore an abandoned warehouse, but he started hearing things from a room. Rather than going in, he saw a window that allowed him to catch a glimpse of this. A humanoid figure seen standing almost motionless in the room. It does resemble some kind of zombie-like trance. Could this be a skinwalker, or is it a fake video set up by someone trying to grab some attention? Remember the sheer joy that came with renting a movie, going to the store and browsing the shelves for something new to watch, hoping that whatever you chose was actually available and not already checked out? The guy in this security camera footage might not be as nostalgic. Watch what happens as he does the rounds packing the DVDs back on their shelves. It seems a playful poltergeist doesn't care that the store is closed, and is pretty adamant they're going to check out something tonight. A family picked the wrong place to camp when they spotted numerous eerie apparitions on camera. Facing a nearby wood, they witness a host of ghostly shadows moving between the trees. At first, there only appears to be one, but the number quickly grows as the pale shadows shift. One appears suspended above the branches. The quality of the video is poor, but the presence of something haunting is clear. Did something terrible happen on this land that it is populated by so many spirits, Oftentimes, camping grounds can be notorious for being old battle sites or awash with unmarked graves. People who have visited such places claim to hear the sounds of men shouting, cannons and gunshots, and the sound of the military man drums. It isn't clear from the video whether the family decided to brave it and stay the night or make a quick getaway. A curious buck spots the camera on its nighttime prowl. With utter stealth, he quietly moves across the field of vision and continues to eat unperturbed. Had he suspected danger, he would have released a series of loud bellows to warn any others to be on the lookout. 2 mysterious skeletons are discovered on a beach in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. One is slightly larger than the other. What is unusual about them is that both seem to have tails like a fish. Are these mermaids or some convoluted hoax? This isn't the first time these skeletons have washed ashore. In the last 3 years, strange skeletons have appeared on a beach in the UK and in Australia. These skeletons were even longer, approximately 6 foot in length. It is unclear from the video the actual size of the skeletons, which are in a grim state of decomposition. The one skeleton is in pretty bad shape and missing a few ribs. This is possibly due to being flung up against rocks, or it was the cause of death when this creature was still living. Some skeptics suggest that they are the remains of seals, but the skulls look remarkably human. Do mermaids exist? What do you think? A man comes running from the dark road ahead and is illuminated in the car's headlights where the person is filming. He appears to be afraid and excited at something he has spotted further on up the dirt track. The car, undeterred, continues to advance. A strange alien-like creature is seen shuffling across the road. The car stops some distance from it, while the man we encountered earlier returns for a closer look. It looks unlike anything we have seen before, almost like some kind of crab with short tentacles instead of claws. Is it some horrible fault of nature? It's difficult to tell from such a distance, which is a possible indication that it's a fake. The person filming seems extremely calm and quiet, and the feel of the video does seem to be staged with the arrival of the man in the beginning. Surely, they could have gotten a little closer, or at least zoomed in. There's something creepy in the woods. There's something terrifying visible out of just the corner of your eye. A cyclist tears through the woods at night, and his camera captures something strange to the left of the screen. A figure looms, tall and menacing. A weird tube-shaped head, visible arms and torso. It appears to be wearing a suit. Is it some kind of bizarre totem? Or could it be a scarecrow? Problem is, this isn't farmland. This is the middle of the woods at night. A trail camera set up in the hopes of catching the activity of nocturnal fauna captures way more than anyone had anticipated. Watch the zoomed-in footage as a transparent object comes into view from the left-hand side of the screen. At first it appears to walk, but then as it comes more clearly into focus, the demon's shadow begins to crawl on all fours, its freakishly long body resembling some kind of awful reptile. The fiendish nightcrawler disappears from range, no doubt off to haunt some unknowing camper. One wonders how it came to haunt this forest and why it can't leave. It's not always clear why people set up cameras in the woods unless the goal is to capture unsuspecting wild animals going about their business. But every now and then they get more than they bargained for. Check out the following trail footage.
What the is that? 4 days ago. Oh my god, I don't even want to touch my laptop, bro. I feel like it's looking at me.
An extreme close-up reveals that something is looking back. An inquisitive yet somewhat sinister eye peers deeply into the lens of the camera, the gesture almost threatening. Perhaps sightings like these will become more common. Perhaps they will start to communicate their intentions. But for now, they are watching. The sound of a child's laughter. Is there anything more delightful, except when a child's laughter is heard, and the child doesn't exist? A night security man experiences a truly harrowing encounter with an entity on what is to be his last shift. The distinct sight of a child's hand is visible on the low-level glass window as it bangs on the glass and laughs in pure joy. As the security man rounds the corner, you expect to see the child, but just as abruptly as it started, the commotion stops. Nothing. The night shift security man hands in his notice the following day. It seems child's play is not for everyone. There's something about the fear and energy in this video that makes it both terrifying and exciting. Cell phone footage appears to capture what looks like Bigfoot running between the trees.
Sammy, what was that? What was that? What was that?
Whilst there is a lot of scrambling and panic to record the moment, the actual footage is pretty clear as far as recordings go. Are you convinced? And for all intents and purposes, bears a striking resemblance to many of the other sightings we have witnessed here. But there is something about the way it is running that makes me a skeptic. Bigfoot or not, let us know in the comments. A street security camera captures a bizarre occurrence. A humanoid figure with long limbs is spotted bounding on all fours through the deserted street. There are two things that make this footage disturbing. Firstly, the creature is naked, and secondly, it shows remarkable agility, if it is human, to move at such pace on its hands and feet. It scurries off as an animal would, with no evidence of where it came from or where it is escaping to. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. Is this another skinwalker sighting? The witch on her way to hex her victim? You be the judge. The thing about ghost sightings is that they are not always dramatic or even that visible. Something caught moving in your peripheral vision, an alarming sound that you can rationalize away by blaming the wind, a fleeting dark shadow on the stairs when no one else is around that disappears as quickly as it appears. Small occurrences that are no less disturbing. Watch as this poster captures a dark, shadowy figure moving up the stairs and vanishing from sight. It seems unlikely that whatever is there is human, as it disappears way too quickly. The first few seconds of this video are bizarre. A group of Frenchmen out on camping trip are traipsing through the dark without a flashlight, presumably returning to their campfire. The mood is jovial but soon changes when the area being filmed is suddenly illuminated. As if by magic there is a campfire burning gently, but that is not what our attention is meant to be drawn to. It is what is directly behind the fire, peering out from behind the tree. A hairless, ghostly white cryptid looms. Its dead eyes, like two dark pools in its head, stare back at the campers from its vantage. Some suggest it's a skinwalker, associated with bad omens and death. It prowls the forests in its pallid disguise with malevolent intent. The cameraman grows quiet in the creature's presence, and the mood changes. What happens after the sighting is anyone's guess, but I'm not sure I'd have stayed to find out. The following footage is difficult to decipher, obviously zoomed in significantly. The poster claims to have captured Bigfoot in plain sight. Granted, I cannot dispute the fact that something is there. Large and covered in fur and does not appear to be a bear, But beyond that, it is extremely difficult to say for certain. Watch closely as the creature, who appears to be aware it is being watched, moves ever so slightly. Do you think this is what the poster claims, or is just too much of a reach for the imagination? A snowy night, two hunters are out and armed with guns. As the snow begins to fall, two glowing eyes become clearly visible to the right of the tree straight ahead. The hunters are being watched and possibly hunted.
I don't hear it anymore. Oh shit, Dill. Right there, bud. Something in there. There's more than one. They're watching us. Hey!
The person filming sounds visibly afraid because whatever that is watching them is not the only one, and instinctually something about this presence tells him that it is not an animal. The unblinking eyes continue to stare in the direction of the men, undeterred and unafraid of being shot. There's a reason they don't want us to speed, and it's got nothing to do with the rules of the road. It seems that once you break the acceptable limit, you might just end up like these guys on a literal highway to hell. Keep an eye on the rising speedometer, but wait for the moment our attention is drawn to something else visible on the side of the road. What can only be described as a demon stands watching as the car speeds past in a fury of pedal to the metal. For a moment, its distorted features are visible as what looks like smoke, but is more than likely the quality of the video taken at high speed, is seen rising off the top of its head. Perhaps it's just as well they were flying past. I wouldn't want to give that terrifying hitchhiker a ride. A generation of us kids were traumatized by Chucky, and later it was Annabelle. Malevolent dolls with murder on their minds, possessed by demons and able to move on their own. This poster claims to have discovered these creepy dolls in the basement of her new home. Seems the previous owner didn't want them. She also claims that one of the dolls appeared to move on its own. Notice how their eyes follow you and never stop. What would you do with them? Villagers capture a strange creature on the roof and remain surprisingly calm considering its appearance. It's possible to identify a shape and two bright eyes emanating from the darkness. The growing group of onlookers seem more bemused than terrified. It's possible they've seen this entity before. The creature remains surprisingly calm and still throughout. On initial viewings, it might be easy to dismiss this as a human. It does seem to possess a human body, and whilst relatively large, the limbs are proportionate. Where it becomes harder to reconcile the theory is the facial features, particularly those eyes that seem too far apart to be those of a human. Thankfully, it seems to be calm in spite of the attention it is receiving. The footage you are about to watch was recorded in the early 90s on a handheld video camera. The videographer was on holiday with his family, and they decided to take a day trip to the exquisite Mono Lake. Whilst his children played on the beach, he panned the camera to get a shot of the landscape. They left and remained oblivious to the fact that they may have just captured a Sasquatch on camera within a short distance from where the children were playing. The video remained uncovered for 17 years until a family member discovered it and noticed something strange. Granted, it's only a few seconds and fleeting to say the least, but there is something there that makes your blood run cold and cannot easily be explained. Watch closely as the large, brilliantly camouflaged creature moves and becomes visible. Emerging from between the rocks, it lumbers forward before turning abruptly on its heels and making as if to leave, possibly because it sensed it was spotted. Is this the legendary Sasquatch? Some have suggested that the video is a hoax, citing the one-dimensional shape the creature takes on when it turns as being a cardboard cutout. But this is not easily reconciled, as the quality of the tape is poor when zoomed in. You be the judge. It's late, you're in bed. You've switched all the lights off and your eyes have become accustomed to the dark. If you look around your room, you start to see shapes. The clothes you flung over the chair start to look almost human. The more you look, the creepier and more realistic it becomes. This poster claims to hear someone crying in her room. Watch as her camera films in the direction of the noise and captures a human figure standing in the darkness.
Do you guys hear that crying? Look, it's moving. What the f? If there's something over there crying. Do you guys see that?
It seems to have its back to the camera and is wearing a dress. Faint sobs are barely audible. Do you see it? We've featured a lot of skinwalker videos here on Trail Terror, but some of you might still be wondering what exactly these creepy creatures are. In Navajo culture, a close but not exact translation describes it as a witch. This was someone who committed unspeakable acts to obtain the power to shapeshift in order to do harm. Skinwalkers often take on the shape of animals, but more often than not, they appear as these ghostly white entities. Watch as this poster spots something disturbing behind the shed. Shooting in the direction of the sighting, she captures a featureless, deathly white face looking back at her.
Oh my God, nobody is gonna ever believe this. Oh, shit. Alright, we're going back inside.
One can also hear the sound of a child crying, but it has an almost echoey quality, as though it is not a human voice. It is not stated, but it is possible that the sound of the child crying is being mimicked by the skinwalker. It is claimed that they use this ability to fake the voice of a loved one or someone in distress to lure victims to their death. Sightings of skinwalkers are often considered personal attacks, in that someone has put a hex or curse on you. It is confirmed the aliens are here, and they have some truly phenomenal powers of disguise. Watch as this shocked poster notices something untoward when looking up at the sky. At first, it looks like a cloud, but then it starts to move. Yes, clouds move, you say, but no, not like this. Before our eyes, the camera captures the cloud transform into some kind of spacecraft or UFO with lights in it. The aliens are not even trying to hide, as the spacecraft moves across the sky and vanishes behind the houses. These sightings are becoming more prevalent, and the quality of the videos is improving too. It's almost as if they want us to see them. Notice how slowly the UFO progresses across the sky.
The first couple of viewings of this video definitely had me perplexed. A lady in white has all the makings of a scary movie. And we can see this lady passing the security guard, after which she just seems to vanish into thin air. The fact, however, that the security guard seems to almost appear out of nowhere as well, makes me deduce that the CCTV quality is not the best. There seems to be a specific glitchy spot, making things disappear in that particular place. But there is always the chance, of course, that neither the lady nor the security guard were real, and that both are ethereal bodies from another dimension, both caught on camera, appearing and disappearing.
For more captivating content like this, click here. Thank you for tuning in.